clean it because it's touchscreen.
I can, not when it's on.
Yes, not when it's on.
So maybe it is time it gets a boot.
Yes.
Here we go.
As we start, as we start, as we get going, are you a nonsense? Good morning,
Good
goeiemorgen.
morning.
As we start, we have a head.
Do you need me to wash your hands?
What did you do? Something with his duck. Hello, duck. What happened? Can you show Mom?
It's something with the salt. He probably has a cut on his hand and has found it.
Oh, that is very possible. Good morning. Let me see who's in. Jim is in. Chappie is in.
And Flying Flower is in.
Flying Flower's in. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, the call has to take care of the young man because he is complaining profusely about probably. So I've explained previously, put some salt out on the weeds and then that sorts out. He's right behind you. He's going to walk into the computer. Okay. That sorts out the weeds. So you put some salt when there's a little bit of rain. Then the weeds kind of croak and you don't have to worry about it. And it's not poisonous or anything like that. It's pretty good. So, all right, just watch where he goes. All right, don't walk into stuff, please. You got to focus where you are walking. When he's got the banana and the orange, he's like not focused. Oh yes, his finger is burning because he's probably got a cut on it. So the salt is. Are you listening yet?
Salt does that, and it's very fine salt.
Yes.
So it's gonna go in everything and everywhere.
So not getting too political or anything, but apparently we are -1 on a ladybug.
So that's exactly what the conversation was.
It's like so the guy was here yesterday.
Interesting one.
Now what I saw, just is apparently he was visiting a drone factory yesterday.
Yes.
In Ukraine, assuring them of the US's support, which I still don't understand why we're still busy with that bullshit. But anyway, we shouldn't be involved in that. But nonetheless, apparently Russia decimated both factories, and suddenly Lindsay has died of a sudden onset of illness.
Sudden.
Yes, maybe like a missile up his butt, But anyway,
we can't talk about that.
Well, they might not want to put it that way because that might mean that someone will expect the US to retaliate, and I don't think the US wants to fuck around with Russia right now. I don't think that's conducive to anybody.
No.
Because I don't think there's a Russia-Ukraine war. I think there's a bit of how can I put this? There's just this annoying little country called Ukraine bugging Russia, because I think if Russia really wanted to, they could just wipe them off the map. No, honestly, I don't think that it's a war as everybody's making it out to be. I think Russia's literally got kid gloves on with those guys. They are not, because they can just wipe them out. Now we're back. What now?
Your orange and banana are that way.
No,
they're that way.
Looking for something else. Looking for trouble, if you ask me. Anyway, so I wanted to finish up the Revolutionary War, but I had no time between yesterday. It was just flat out work all day. I didn't even get to the website stuff, Jim. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to see. I think this afternoon will be a little better. So I'm going to try and get, because I got stuff I got to do for myself. I'm not even getting into my stuff right now. Yesterday was just grind work all day long. And I thought I would be finished at 2, and I finished at 8 yesterday. 8:30 last night. So even me, I was surprised. At the end, I was just making a mess everywhere. And I was like, man, I've got to finish this stuff because now I'm tired and I'm just making a mess. So I'm making more work because I'm not getting done. Anyway, so hopefully today I can attend to some of those required things. And I was thinking a lot about some of the history that we've discussed here, and things that happened, and I was listening to a bunch of stuff, and the thing that struck me for the most part, okay, is although the Brits, the crown, I guess that's why I picked the picture today. Is although the crown, because it's government driven by monarchy. felt justified in their taxation
Mhm.
because to their mind it was to free the colonies or to keep the colonies free was where the expense was incurred. Um, the colonies saw it as an overreach and
Mhm.
reacted accordingly. But it was not just a financial overreach, that was a large part of it, but there was personal freedoms that got impacted because uh, uh, they didn't want to bend the financial knee, so they got punished physically to comply. So like you'll bend the knee and comply, or else so pay your taxes, or else we're going to make things a lot worse. Almost like okay, so you want to be a nonsense, so we're gonna have you sit in your room, and if you don't comply, then we're going to take your candy away, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that until you actually calm down a little bit. So it's like disciplining a child in their mind, if you look at it. So and I was thinking about all of that and looking at what was going on with the history and how people reacted and what happened and things like that, and thinking about how the setups and stuff worked and how people communicated, how much more difficult it was than today, because it's not like you can pick up a phone or text someone, hey, the Brits are coming, which was not a thing. It wasn't actually said, because if you think about it, Paul Revere never said the British are coming, because they were all British. They were all British. They were all British at that time. So
the redcoats.
Yes, the redcoats, maybe not the British, but anyway. So thinking about all of that, stamp taxes, paper taxes, glass taxes, representation or taxation without representation. So who's representing us right now?
Lindsey Graham's of the world.
No, but I mean, honestly, think about it. And I think that's where Jim is coming in with what they are busy with, which I will definitely, even after, because that's part of it, with what you told me, Jim. I was thinking about all these things, because I'm a little new to this sphere. You know what I'm saying? Where I come from, there's not much you can really do. You just you're on the knees on your neck, and that's the end of that. But there are the possibilities of having options here. So that is a refreshing feeling, if I could put it that way. So who, and if you look at so paper tax, so the stamp tax, the everything had to have a stamp on that was. So how's that different than buying groceries that's taxed today?
It's not.
I mean, so we went and we bought some not really freedom seeds, more like practice seeds.
Practice seeds, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they're little things, and they taxed, and I was like, well, how is it possible that a right is being taxed?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Second Amendment is a right. Why is that being taxed? I don't understand. It makes it very hard for me to understand.
Well, you have the right to make it yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait.
Well,
do they actually disagree with that?
No,
one as well?
if you like mess around with that too much, then you got this.
So you have to buy it. Can't make it yourself, but you're going to be taxed by it.
Yeah. So that, and then artificial shortages, and then who, because so you have this basket from which you can pick. But who puts the fruit in the basket? The ladybugs of the world. Yes, he's complaining because you cut your finger and now the salt's telling you stories. Mom, give him a plaster or a Band-Aid, as you Americans say. We Band-Aid is a brand, not a not a thing. But anyway, go, sweetie, go. So, he's very upset. His finger's probably burning. So anyway, so you can pick some fruit, but who puts the fruit in the basket? You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to put fruit in the basket, apparently it's not allowed. Or if you have some fruit that's happy to go into the basket, like that is not the fruit that goes in the basket. You can only pick from the pre-selected fruit that's in the basket, from what I'm seeing. So it makes it very hard, because no matter who you pick, or which fruit you pick, they all seem to be up to the same nonsense. And no matter how pretty and full of promises of vitamins those fruits are, once they get selected, apparently all of that shit fades, and it's just the same as all the other fruit. From the assessments that I've made from what I've seen so far, because it's very seldom that you actually find someone that'll go and do the bidding of the public that elected them. I want to see what Brandon Herrera does, because that might be a welcome change, I hope. So read the chat a little. I thought we'll do a bit of improv today and just go off the cuff.
Good morning, Dead Dingo Dan.
Good
says,
morning.
nice haircut.
Oh, thank you.
Chappie said, poor baby. Yeah, okay, so it's an actual cut. It's not found a cut.
Yes.
So he got an actual cut.
Oh, he got a cut while working.
But
yes.
Man, I bet the salt has spoken to that cut. I am sure.
He's only 2, so he's very sad now.
Of course, if you guys are not able to back up in the chat does mention the obvious. There was a gentleman who is no more at a very young age, I would say.
Yes.
But neither here nor there. That was the conversation, and of course, everyone's been waiting to hear about Mitch McConnell, and that is not what happened.
Yeah, that's a very surprising turn of events. Mitch has outlived ladybugs.
Yeah, very interesting. And Chappie does say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for the pledge of allegiance.
That is very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yes. He said he forgot about Ukraine. No, we are kicking Iran's ass.
Oh, yeah, I know. Somebody this morning. Oh, it was Branca. He put a little clip out. I just happened to see it before we went live, and he was saying, like, they are apparently getting hammered.
Yes.
Because
No, but we must let everybody be, no matter if they have a bounty on the head of our own president.
Well,
that's okay. You should be able to do that.
Put that aside.
Okay.
So there was apparently a peace deal.
Yes.
And a ceasefire.
A ceasefire, yes.
Okay. Oh, they were working on the deal.
Yep.
Ceasefire. Okay. I don't follow too much, because 50% of all this stuff is bullshit. It's just propaganda and bullshit.
They don't even know.
No, it's fog of war. So I try and kind of stay abreast of what's going on, but I don't try and believe everything I see. I cannot tell you how many reports I've seen of things that is completely demonstrably false, and it's all over social media. But it is absolute bullshit. It is not even remotely. I mean, I saw a thing the other day that Hexeth resigned, and there was like 20 clips of it, and it's like, no, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. But anyway, so there's supposed to be a ceasefire, but then these guys attacked civilian ships.
Yes.
And it's like, what? But why are you doing that?
During a ceasefire.
Yes. Like, no, well, part of the conditions of the ceasefire was you will leave the civilian vessels alone. Okay, and then according to, the chief in charge, they begged him not to bomb them with the burial of the Ayatollah, because there were going to be a lot of people. So he said, okay, we're going to leave you alone on your day of grief. Of course, then some of these quote-unquote influencers, which they should throw the fuck out of the country, went there. People living in the US, in Iran, calling for the death of America. Like, I don't...
No, but it's okay, because Mandami had a meeting with Iran. It's okay.
Yes, and
it's okay.
And,
that's what you do, right? As a New York mayor, not governor, not mayor.
So they attacked the vessels, and now they're getting the crap kicked out of them. So I saw that they are begging for talks, and Orange Band said, we can talk, but we're not stop bombing. We're going to bomb the crap out of you, and we can talk while that happens, but we are not stopping anything now.
I'm not gonna lie. I liked his comment yesterday. 1,000 missiles pointed and
Yes.
thousands more waiting.
Yes. Well, good.
No, but it's like you have to
100
remind.
billion. Some moron's going to take a go, you know.
100 million.
So the best argument I heard for Israel killing Charlie is it would save them millions.
That's right. That's right.
And someone actually said this to me. Now, I'm not saying there's not good arguments for it. Okay, that's not the kind of rabbit hole I want to go down. But somebody said Israel will save millions if Charlie is not around. And I just said, what do you think millions means in terms of a country? Like $1 million to me is a lot of money. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money.
But now we have hit the billion and trillion.
Yes, but
so what is a
in
million?
terms of a country,
yes,
a military like Israel, like a military country, a country that's in an active conflict, like a missile, one is more than $1 million. One, and they sending tons of these things. Like okay, so we're gonna kill Charlie because we'll save, I don't know, like a couple of $1 million. No, dude, that is not an argument. I'm sorry, it's like just not a thing. So and I'm not saying there's not bad actors in Israel, so don't get me wrong. But the same can be said for every single country.
Everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere.
So I don't want to get on that whole bandwagon, but I just at least have good arguments.
Can I use a term
Yes.
that we were educated on ever so well in 2020? Misinformation.
Yes, misinformation.
That is that not technically what is being shared so easily in said platforms when it's not misinformation, it's a fucking lie. Okay, firstly, what they used to deem as misinformation is things they didn't like, which was true.
Yes.
But it's very interesting.
Yes, like masks don't work was misinformation.
No, but it's true. And here's the factual studies that show that it doesn't work.
Yes.
It's this study.
But a lot of people will not. They will not.
No, I know that. And it's very frustrating. I'm very glad where we are. We do not see those things. I think it.
Well, we see them, but we are not.
No,
we are not involved with
I
them.
think Jim Hall mentioned he saw one the other day, or somebody did, like the other day.
Oh, a mask.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I must say, I think we had one in the entire time.
Yeah, that was it, and that was when we first came because
Yes.
it was mom to.
Oh,
was
that's
crazy
right.
lady mom.
It was crazy. It wasn't for bugs. It was for.
It was poking.
Yes, but it was
around
for what do you call it? It was hiding the
It was
face.
hiding the face.
Yes.
No, but I knew exactly who she was. Because
Yes.
guess what? I'm not stupid. I told Anton yesterday. I get myself in trouble because I am very quick to 2 + 2 is 4.
Yes.
Very, very quick. And sometimes I speak before I probably should.
Yes.
And I did that yesterday, but it was 2 + 2 is 4. Why
Yes.
are you buying a subscription item if you do not plan to continue it? And then you phone me for a refund.
Yes. So you want to pay the absolute minimum so you can get your money back. But anyway.
I'm going to change my policy.
Yes. No refunds on
No,
subscriptions.
refund minus the discount you already received.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yep.
I think that will stop
And
that.
shipping.
And shipping. Nip that right in the butt.
Yeah.
No, because it's stupid. Don't take advantage of me. I work hard. We work hard. Man, did you talk about what we did yesterday?
I just mentioned. I didn't say everything, but
I didn't have 2 buns. I should have had 2 buns on my head, and I should have had like this ultimate what is that house cleaner
Cleaning,
outfit
yes.
with the poofy skirts because I was a house cleaner. No, I was on a mission. We've been doing so many different things. So I tackled and
no, it's been.
Anton was doing his thing with the meat. He's always in the meat. So did you tell him what today is?
Yes, sausage Sunday. So I've already made. I think I'm already through 100. I'm through about half, about 110
almost half.
or so
Yeah,
pounds.
almost
Yeah.
half. That's a lot. It's a lot of sausage being made today, but it's actually really cool to watch him do what he does because I chuckle at us. We always think we're going to have things set up in this manner. I'm so glad we don't write it down because it never works. Never works.
Oh.
Never works out how we think it's going to happen.
No.
Is that about right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like dough when dough proofs. It goes where it wants to go. You can try and guide it, but it kind of does what it needs to do.
Yep.
Right, chat, and then we
Not
continue.
not too much. I hate that Carly is gone, but Hassan remains.
Yes.
Instead Dingo Dan.
Yes.
I agree. He was, you know what Charlie did is he gave people encouragement to speak up and to stand by their values. And that is, I think, what a lot of us need to be reminded of, is it's okay to want to have a family, and it is okay to have morals and values and to hold other people to that. And if they do not match, then you back away. And you don't have to diss the person for having different values. That's the thing that I liked about him, is he never spoke poorly about the other people, but always gave his argument as to why he does what he does. And that I appreciate. It's like, instead of talking down, which how many times was that done to him?
Yes.
Continuing.
Well, but the other thing is also, it's important to lead by example, which I think he did pretty well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to necessarily like or believe in his example, but he did live his words.
Yes,
I think,
he did.
which is
Yes,
very scarce nowadays.
Stand for your own values, not those that you are indoctrinated with. Exactly, Flying Flower. That's spot on. And I think that has been something that has bit us in the butt quite a bit with our business previously in the big cities, is people don't always stand up or are not willing to, because I get it. It's scary, firstly, and you don't know what's going to happen, and ostracization is real. But to us, we were already prepared to completely ostracize ourselves. I know it needs the Titan.
Yes.
I need our son to get out the Allen wrench and
I feel what the kids, because they ride the chairs, so they
he's
wearing
the one
them.
who does
Yes.
that, so he can tighten them. It's my thought.
I think that's a good idea.
It's just one of those things. It's hard for a lot of people, but I think it is so important. And Sith, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We were just mentioning that we are -1 on the ladybug scale.
Ladybug.
Yeah.
Ladybug. When you start talking to people, you learn very quickly which people are willing to listen and which are a waste of time.
Yes, and unfortunately, there's a lot of, like, you see the glaze over when you tell them stuff, and it's like, and sometimes people you think that would listen, like people you have previously, had discussions with, and you just hit that right nerve, and you just watch the glaze over happen,
and then they're done.
And I try and be open to as much information as possible, and consider as many things as possible, but a lot of people are not open to any kind of counter information to what their beliefs are. And it's I saw that especially with a with a COVID thing, where we had a lot of people on, I would say, our side, for the most part, but believe the narrative of the zap is good for you. You must have this thing, and I've watched them die, man. And it's one by one. Yes.
The one that hit us the hardest. Can I talk about it? Okay. The one that hit us the hardest was an incredible friend of Anton's. We actually met this gentleman. It would have been probably 2017, if not 2016.
Yes.
I think it was maybe 2017.
Yes.
So I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, about 2017.
Okay. This is Anton's barber. So really old school guy. Cool. I mean, he was a man's man. I mean, he's the barber that
he wasn't like a particularly pleasant.
No.
He was just
he was rough.
He was just a rough,
but a good guy, very good, rough
Yes.
guy. But he's your like standard barber. Like you go in, you have your talk, you do your thing, almost like a therapy session for men.
Yes.
But what I see as a barber, like that is, it's not this new age fancy. Here's your beard fluff, and you're this and you're that, and he doesn't do all those things. He's a man.
Yes,
he's a man's man. Anton got to know him very well.
The first couple of times going there was kind of rough because he was not a pleasant guy.
No,
it's almost like he didn't want new customers.
Yeah,
it's like
he had his customers.
You had to pass the test, so he gave you a lot of shit. As I remember the first time I walked into his shop, like he didn't even look up.
Mm-hmm.
He was busy with someone's hair. Somebody, obviously an old customer of his, and they were talking. So I walked in, and I was like, "Okay, so how does this work?" So I was waiting and nothing. So I said, "Good." I think it was the morning. Good morning. I'm not sure how things work here, and he's like, yeah, have a seat, I'll be with you. And then just continued with the guy he was with. And I was like,
That's weird.
but I need a haircut, so I'll just sit, and I don't know where else to go because I don't like the fancy.
He doesn't do the like multi shops that
I
the
don't.
ones that are made for females. He's man. He doesn't do that thing. He wants.
I want to go somewhere. You mow my head and I leave.
Yeah.
And I give you money,
Yeah.
and we can do. I'm not good at small talk, so I don't do the. So how's the weather? Did you watch the game? Because it's like I don't care. No.
I don't care. No.
Yes. So I don't do a lot of small talk. And Doug was the same. He didn't do much
No.
of the small talk. He would talk to the people he knew.
Yeah.
About kind of things that they talked about. And then the second time, I got there and he wasn't open yet. So I went back and it was lunchtime and he was locking his shop. And I was like, oh, I want a haircut. And he's like, yeah, it's lunchtime. I said, I know. Or I said, oh, is it your lunchtime now? And he says, yes. And he pointed to his door and it had a sign on that said he closes at like 12:30 or whatever. And he's back at 1:30. So he like points at the door. So I said, okay. But I'm here now. He said, yes. Like, look at the sign. So I said, but I got to go fetch my kids at that time, I think, at like after you're back open. And he's like, okay. And he got in his car and he left. And I was like, yeah, he's a jackass. I'm never going back. And then I went back a while later and then we started like kind of gelling. And then he turned out to be a really good guy.
So our shop was around the corner from him in the same strip mall. We were exactly the same location, just different suites. He was in the front, we were on the side. And Anton went to him every 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks?
Yes,
I think it's every 3 weeks.
Yes.
And he was so particular about Anton and his hair and how he looked. And he really, the dude paid attention. He's a very phenomenal barber.
And he would like come to my shop.
Like you needed
and like you need to come see me.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to him every couple of weeks.
No, he
like,
pulled him.
Pulled me like, yeah, I need to sort you out.
You don't look good. Come.
Yes, and he just and when he was quiet, he would come and he's like, "You have time now?" And I would either say yes or no, and he would just bug me until I come because he was just a couple of shops from me, and we ended up with a really good relationship. And then of course, 2020 fucking stupid shit happened, and he was forced to close.
Yes.
He couldn't.
Yes,
open,
because you couldn't. No salons, barbers,
yes,
anything.
or anything of that.
Yeah.
So he closed for like a month or 2 months, and then it was all by appointment. So he used to come and tell me, okay, I got an opening, can I just, because I had to keep a running list of who
was
they saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so he had to go back to appointments and a book and fill everything. And I'm like, why are you doing this? He's like, that's what they require of us now. And everybody's got to wear a mask. I didn't wear a mask, but he's like, oh, he'll wear a mask. And he said, just keep one on you because if they walk in, he doesn't want to get shut down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. And I was like, this is bullshit. And so he got vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Third jab, stone cold dead. Like literally went the Tuesday. And when he went for the first one, I told him, Doug, don't do it, man. He's like, no, it'll be fine. I said, don't do it. And he didn't listen. And then he got the second one. And I was like, man, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he told me the Tuesday. And then he was starting.
Told us because
he was starting to miss every here and there, not feeling good.
But he told us that Tuesday because he came and fetched our then 4-year-old son.
Yes, he fetched Michael and he said, I'm going to go cut his hair quick.
And
I'll bring him back.
Michael went with him. And I think
Michael was like the last haircut.
That's what I'm saying. It was like the last haircut. Michael went with him. He was 4 years old at that time. Michael really, really liked Doug. Liked Doug. So Doug came. He said, okay, it's time for Michael. Let me go ahead and take him, and then I'll bring him right back. He did. He took him, and 10 minutes later, Michael comes back with Doug. And that,
we had a bit of a chat.
That was the last time.
That was the Tuesday, and he left, and I never saw him again.
Mm-mm.
That was like the end.
Yeah.
Never saw him again.
His sister, we met a lot of his family.
Yes, by the Thursday, we just heard
his sister phoned us and let us know what happened, and then they came over when they were clearing out the shop. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
because we'd really grown to appreciate this guy. I mean, we had theories and thoughts and wishes that one day when we all moved to the country, he'd come be our barber out in the country because he was up for leaving the city.
Yeah, he wanted to leave.
Like
we were talking about getting him a shop here, and he can set up out this way, and Anyhow, not quite where I saw the conversation
but
going,
I
but
think that's good to
improv.
share.
Improv.
Yeah. And, we've got some gentlemen who have had similar situations. Sith
Yeah.
says, I miss going to barbershops. My widow's peak got too bad and just buzz it and clean all clean these days. Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's easier sometimes. Chappie says, have not had a good barber in 17 years. I go to Great Clips because it's convenient and cheap. I
Yeah.
just want my hair cut. Anton tried that, and man, I don't know how many different barbers, especially after Doug, he's gone to just to try to get a decent haircut. That's a real struggle. You would think they would take the trade seriously, but that is not seem to be the case. Jamal, I bought a clipper during COVID. I do my own now. It doesn't need to be perfect, just shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And then D20X, good morning. Super
Good morning.
fan.
Good morning.
Chappie says, my sister got the jab. 3 months later, she died of pancreatic cancer. My family has no history of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the turbo cancers. They should talk to the what was it, the CEO of Google about that one.
I actually was thinking the other day, speaking of, since we're on this rabbit hole we've started on, now the new thing is a parasite. I told Anton about it, that there's some big parasite concern which causes massive diarrhea. Very nice. And it's on a lot of the fresh produce, but we're talking cilantro, berries, sugar snap peas, I think it was I told you.
Yeah,
and then there lettuce, all lettuce.
Lettuce
and
or
it looks
cabbage?
lettuce and cilantro.
Okay.
Specifically
Lettuce and
said lettuce. And it's all lettuce. And it said it comes from Asia and Latin America. And now, from what I looked up about this quote unquote parasite, is it is something that is only found within humans, and it is only found in fecal matter. Therefore, all of this stuff is randomly covered in fecal matter. Like all of this. To me, that makes absolutely no sense, to have so many different items from 2 different continents that's all covered in fecal matter that has a parasite that causes this kind of reaction.
Yes.
That's
well, fortunately,
awesome.
We don't eat said lettuce or cilantro or berries or.
Nope.
It's funny. Everything on my produce is covered under a leather skin.
I'm a vegetarian. My beef eats all my veggies for me. Fauci, Chappie, you're not wrong.
That dude.
Ooh.
That's why I said, so how much representation do we really have?
You know.
How
Polish Dog, good morning to you.
Good morning.
We're just talking nonsense today, going off the cuff.
Yes. So one of the things that I was listening to, read a little bit, and so Paul Revere was part of a like they were church bell ringers.
Okay.
And they had to have coordination between the bells to make sure all of them rang the right way. So they actually had an association at 15 to which they wrote a constitution to which they agreed to a specific behavior and stuff like that, and then how they would negotiate with the churches, and also how dictating their specific behaviors, like they wouldn't beg for money, they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't, so they had a entire mini constitution, almost like a mini republic set up within their bell ringers association. And they used to meet once, I think, every couple of months, and they used to by vote agree to either new or to continue or things like that, and revise what's going on. Yeah, at like 15, in 17, like 50. Yeah, and it was based on principles that their dads and granddads and everybody before them had in their kind of working documentation, and that was very interesting when I came across that.
So Sith has a fun fact about Paul Revere. He was a noted silversmith.
Yes. So Paul Revere had 16 children with 2 wives. His first wife gave him 8 kids over 16 years and then died. because of course
Very
childbirth then
common
was,
at that
yes.
time. Yes.
And then he had a second wife, gave him another 8 kids. He buried 11 of his children, 5
That's
infants, not infants, but like young.
That's
And he
hard.
said, it was like you don't get used to it, you just get stronger. And I think 4 as young adults or something. So yeah, so he had quite a hard time. Sorry about that. You might have to grab that. But yeah, so he was part, and I want to go look this up a little bit, but he was part of what they called the Whigs. And the Whigs opposed the Tories. The Tories were crownsmen, and the Whigs were actually the guys that were fighting for independence. And he was one of 2 people. I think there were 7 factions of Whigs in the kind of Boston greater area and stuff. And him and a doctor were the only 2 that were part of all the factions. And it turned out that the doctor was actually, and I can't remember the doctor's name now, but the doctor was actually like an undercover agent and was doing feedback to the general I mentioned yesterday that got the call to go to Boston, not to Boston, to Lexington. He was actually feeding back information to that general. I got it on my paper, but my son's got my paper. I can't remember the general's name. But anyway, the doctor dude was giving the information back to the general, to the British general. So he was actually a traitor to the cause. And Paul Revere didn't know, but he knew something was up because a lot of stuff they want to do, like before they get it done, before he could get anything, or before they could kind of get stuff set up, like the Brits would already know. So he knew there was a mole, quote unquote, but he wasn't sure who it was. And then it turned out it was this other very trusted, because doctors were very trusted at that time. And it was this doctor. One of the other things that the doctors had at that time were the fastest horses, because they had to get to patients real quick and in the middle of the night. So they had to be reliable and they had to be fast. So to see doctors ride around like any time of the day was not peculiar in any way. So some of the doctors actually helped spread the word when things were going on, and they would never stop because they were doctors. So that was very interesting at that time. The way people were seen and what happened. And then I did read, and I think there's some mythology around it, or something that people celebrate, talk about, or something. But it's the unknown rider, because there was apparently, so they said Paul Revere rode a lot, and then there was an unknown rider. They don't know who he is. He is undocumented, but he is actually the guy that did the most distribution of information and intelligence, and run around and warn people and take stuff around, but is not in any of the documentation. So I found that very interesting. And I think there's a thing about the unknown rider or something in American. So I got to go look that up, because, like I say, I'm new to the American history, so I got to try and figure things out. So that I found particularly interesting, and it shows you that you gotta try and build. You got to try and build community around with like-minded people, because the government is definitely not to be trusted. And remember, when the independence came in 1776, the government at that time was the overreaching crown. And I think we find ourselves in a very similar situation right now, where our money is being taxed and used for things not to our benefit. A lot of things are not to our benefit, and I 100% believe, so I've said this many times to people, is the goal of government should be to reduce the burden of taxation on its people. So if I'm running a city, all right, and I'm the mayor of the city, my goal in the development of the city should be to reduce the tax burden of my constituents. So if we get businesses in and businesses bring more taxes in, we shouldn't increase government. We should reduce taxation on the population, in a nutshell.
I'm so sorry. I had a very eager beaver who just drove by our shop and could not believe his eyes that he saw the term biltong.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
he's been here in the States for many years, but it made him very happy to see that term. He didn't think we could take his truck on our lot, which I did tell him we could have, but we're not open yet.
Yes.
But I'm sure we'll be hearing from him.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
that was nice.
good.
That was nice.
Yeah, benefits of being on the highway.
I had somebody tell us the other day that we are in a very inconvenient spot or location. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, people are like, how are you out there? And I'm like, there's 30,000 vehicles driving past
a whole
us
interstate.
a day, like the whole, and it's getting more. It's gone from, in the last 10 years, it's doubled in 10 years.
Yes.
It's doubled the traffic. It's gone from 15 to 30,000. They actually estimate now it's like 32 to 36,000.
Trucking up, yeah.
Yes.
Because that was 2017 or 20. No,
it was 2024.
2024. Okay.
Yeah. So the estimates now are like 36,000, 32 to 36.
Seth, I wanted to read this for you, Anton. I'm sorry I took a phone call and did not get to, but I was able to talk my dad out of getting any more jabs after his first one.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I
you
think the
very
first
well
one
could
is
have
probably
saved his life.
Yeah. People don't. Man, I watched a very good friend of mine outside of the barber basically get dementia.
Yes.
Because of the jabs.
The mental decline was horrendous. It was actually horrible to watch, and it completely in denial of
and
what
oblivious.
was going on.
Oblivious. Completely oblivious
and
about
you
what's
tried
happening.
to. It's like,
yeah,
don't you realize that you're now missing this whole thing and like didn't see it?
Well, the problem is, you're gonna have to start looking yourself in the mirror and
that's hard.
Accept
I know it's hard.
that a couple of the decisions were not the best.
Yes.
And people do not want to do that.
I have a similar situation to that. I think it was my grandfather only had the one. And I spoke to him the other day and I let him know how much all of my children have had. And he's like, wow. And then he started poking questions at me. He's like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I had answers for everything. He's like, huh. I like that. I like that because I could see he was, or not see, but I could hear in the conversation he was realizing why we do what we do. And I don't think a lot of these things we had discussed prior, but I'm so glad that he was willing to ask me questions and I could share it with him why we do what we do.
Yeah.
I think that's, if we can keep that communication going and not, everybody fend for themselves, it may help a little bit.
Well, the whole point of the government is to divide people up and to isolate you.
Exactly.
So you feel all alone.
Yeah.
And you cannot build the community that's required,
Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. So my grandfather is not anywhere near us.
Yes.
We have taken it upon ourselves just to try to send a care package a day. A month. My grandmother passed away when I was pregnant with our fourth. And Anton made sure to send me that way for her funeral.
Belly and all. Every time
all.
she travels a little far, she's got a belly.
I swear. Okay, that one was a lot further, but it was a 24-hour turnaround. I was gone and I was back. But I'm so glad I went.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I went. I got to give him hugs because those very well could be the last hugs I give him. Because I don't know if I'll be able to see him again.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he's a fighter. That man, 200 plus push-ups a day, 86 years old. He doesn't stop. Stay away from the Indian street food was the comment from Jamal about the things. And then Chappie, wash your hands.
It's funny when you just when you operate clean. And I think part of our saving grace during 2020 was we are very, I don't want to say health conscious because not health, but we are very clean in how we operate. Because we work with food, we wash, we sanitize.
Soap has come out and running water is available.
Yes. So, one of the other studies just completely left field that I've found, which very few people know of. I'm sure you guys all know about it because, once you are informed, you want more information.
Yes, I like information.
The change that made the biggest impact on is it what do you call the child and mom mortality, like birth,
the maternity or the
maternal
death rate?
Like when moms and babies, their death rate, and it's there was a doctor, and he was laughed out of the room that said, you know what, why don't we wash our hands like soap and water, wash and clean our hands before we work on, deliver babies and stuff. And he was laughed out of the room.
Yep.
And that made the single biggest impact on the mortality rate of infants and the survival rate of moms.
Yep.
The single biggest, I think it was like late 1800s somewhere.
Yeah.
And he was laughed out of the room. People thought he was completely fucking insane. And that changed so much in terms of what people understood about cleanliness. And I think to myself, wow, what did the people do before that? Like they just walk off the street, after like patting the horse, and then pull a kid out of a woman, and then like people die, and you don't understand why. It's like,
Rach, good morning to you. We've got Rach in.
Good morning.
As well.
Good morning.
I'm gonna remember how to say your name properly. D20X, are you casually reclining on a heated coffee kettle? No, this is not heated. This is
no,
not
this
hot.
one's not heated. That one's heated.
And that's red
But
tea.
yes, this is
it's
red
the
tea, but
kids'
it's off.
tea.
Look.
Yeah.
It's not hot.
I love it.
But yes,
love
I am casually reclining on my big bun.
Polish dog even added in, Anton has the best seat in the house right next to the coffee pot. He always does. Being unknown was probably a wise thing there. Politicians should be paid on how much they improve the lives of the people they govern.
Politicians
Dingo
should
Dan,
not
yes.
be paid at all.
Servitude? Position of servitude?
Yes. You should do that because you want to give back to the community. That's the biggest problem we got, is these people are getting money out of it. Just look at Congress. 172,000 or whatever, 171,000 a year, which I still think is a stupid fucking salary. But they're all millionaires. Wow.
Jimal has the exact same thought process. Repeal the 435 member limit on Congress, require them to live in their district, let the district pay them the average salary of that district. Want a raise? Improve the district. Now, why do they need to be paid? How many days do they actually work? How many
Those guys are more on vacation, but they also do fuck all. It's not like they,
exactly.
Get paid to have meetings and talk shit.
I could see travel expenses covered.
Yes.
If you're far, I can see
per diem.
that. I can see that.
Yes.
But when you're there and when you're in actually working, I could see that. But the rest,
you know how many back end deals those guys make and make money out of? It's absolute
okay, not all
bullshit.
of them, but I'm sure it's a very high.
431 of the
percentage.
435 of
Yes.
them.
Flying flower, goodbye. See you later. Have an awesome day. I'm going to have more of those lean sticks with your name on it, just FYI. Dead Dingo Dan, if they're not paid, they'll take bribes. No, but they already do.
They already do.
They're double dipping
That's
right now.
the
So now
problem,
what?
is they double dipping.
Now what?
You think it's an accident a bunch of fucking aid got sent to Ukraine again?
Yep.
It's Sunday. I don't want to swear on a Sunday.
My father worked for Orange County, California. He told me government is to make the public feel safe.
Yes, that I can see that.
Yes,
it's
but
so
if
stupid.
you're from the government, you're not here to help me. You guys been watching like the pushback on the officers and everything going on there? It's a little scary what some of them think they can do. That is, and that's lower level. We're talking like low level. I don't even want to know what some of these other guys think.
Look, I don't want to be funny, and I'm not talking about our current setup, but prior to here, I must admit that I don't think I've met one government official, not one, that wasn't a complete narcissist.
Sociopath.
Yes, not one.
Hmm.
Every single one of them had massive issues.
Yes. And that tends to be who goes into power.
Yes, they are attracted by positions like that. I mean, all I want to do is, knuckle down, work, look after my family.
I want the
those
ability
guys,
to continue working.
yes,
So
those guys
you go
literally
there, I'll
want
work
to.
here.
They want to rule you, and I disagree with that.
Chappie, government doesn't make me feel safe. To me, the government is a wannabe king.
Yep.
You know?
That's exactly. I'm glad you see why I named the stream what I did. It had nothing to do. In fact, when I made the thumbnail, when I generated it, because I didn't sit there and make it. I got, there's this AI thing and it can make stuff with when you ask it. It put 1776 in. Okay, hold on. So say goodbye to YouTube.
No, you continue.
So it put 1776 in the picture.
Yeah.
And I said remove 1776 because it's not just relevant.
No, I
to
think
that year.
our conversation today has been spot on for this
Yes,
stuff.
no, it's
So, yeah.
they mean to rule us, and I don't bend to no man.
No.
Bye bye YouTube.
All right, everybody on YouTube, come over to Rumble World for Rustic Ranch if you would like the extended version of this podcast. But adios for now. Like, share, follow. Can't really do much more on YouTube, can you?
Yes, you can hit the thumbs up, share the stream. You can follow the channel, but we would prefer you follow on Rumble.
I think that's like it.
And then you can comment.
Oh, you can comment on YouTube. I'll take a
Yes.
comment here and there.
Yes,
That's
and the
fine.
comment should say, follow them on Rumble.
I think that's it.